Hello and welcome to the world as we see it. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but we have started during the daytime having a non-stop stream, and I'm going to be calling that the day job. So the day job for me is teaching. Okay, so my name is Lloyd Hobart Mitchell, and I am an ordinand with the St. George's congregation here in Pattaya in Thailand. And during the day, I teach English to Chinese children online. Mostly Chinese children, some Chinese adults, but mostly children. And in the evenings, I focus on my formation and on Tillich, Paul Tillich, and systematic theology, which is a book that we are reading, and on prayer. Now, in reality, with us doing what we do every evening, we won't really have enough content to fulfill the requirements of Twitch, to then go on and become an associate. There just won't be sufficient followers. However, if I can stream during my day job, which I can, then actually we are getting up there. We are getting the 40 hours or so a month, at least. Well, we're going to be getting something like 12 or 15 hours a day streaming. And if that's the case, then I think we will be in a position to start saying, well, this is getting serious. Okay. Now, of course, at the moment, we don't have a huge number of followers. We don't have a huge number of subscribers. It would do us a huge favour if you could subscribe or follow us by clicking the button down there, or by subscribing if you are watching us on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please join in. Please send us some comments. Please get engaged. But what we're going to do today, I wanted to talk to you about the stream, about the development of what we've done so far, about the fact that we were streaming for so many hours today. I think in total, let me see how many we did. So in total today, we streamed for 12 hours and 20 minutes. And look, I don't know. I'm not sure how useful that is. I'm not sure whether that's going to be something that helps us or not. I would hope so. Now, what we are doing now, welcome by the way, there is a viewer. I don't know where you are, viewer. I'm not sure where you are. Unfortunately, my little stream manager doesn't tell me where you are. It just says there's one viewer. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? I mean, I wish it would tell me a bit more. But anyway, that doesn't matter. One day we will learn how to use this a bit better than what it is. It says there's one viewer. That's all we need to know. So, yes, very, very pleased that, that you're joining us, right? And, yeah, thank you for that. So stay with us. What we're going to do, we're chatting about the stream. We're chatting about plans for this weekend. We're going to talk about football, and I'm an Englishman, and recently, I don't know if you're even remotely aware, but I've learned that there was a football game this last week between England and the Italians, and as happens so often, the English side get to the final, and the decision is due to be made using penalties, which is always a bit of a shame. And England doesn't do very well at the penalty stage. Now, what to say about that? Well, I mean, I know I've seen photographs of people completely devastated, completely beside themselves, because it didn't come home, right? And they really believed it was going to come home. They had faith that it was going to come home, and it didn't. And that faith was misplaced. And it's a shame, don't get me wrong. The players, the England players, are incredible players, world class, world standard. But on the day, they didn't win, right? And we've been here before. We've been here before, and I can't help but think, well, don't be devastated, right? Up and down the country, there are people dying because of the COVID pandemic. I understand, in terms of human psychology, some folk needed a distraction from that, and they had a distraction in terms of a football game, and the football game didn't provide them relief because they didn't win. And so they feel jolly upset. Well, there you are. You win some, England doesn't tend to win too many, and you lose some, and England tends to lose a lot. So certainly as far as I can remember, I was born in 76, 10 years after the incredible 1966 World Cup, which we are all constantly reminded of and bored of. Get over it. That's what I say. Get over it. Seeing grown men getting very angry, and more than that, seeing grown men getting very angry, and then hearing people saying bad things about the fellas who were playing the game because they happen to not be white English. When I think my understanding is, having seen some meme on Facebook prior to the football game even taking place, which said that out of the whole team, only 3 of the players in the team are white English, and the rest are from migrant, refugee, asylum seeker generations. Well, I'm sorry, but I thought that the whole racism in football had been dealt with many years ago. I remember as a child seeing all manner of NF, National Front graffiti in loos, in public conveniences, spray painted on walls, seeing the kind of the association with the skinhead way of dressing, and it was horrible. It was simply horrible. Now, I don't have time for that. I have time to fight against that, and I would fight against that kind of ideology that idea that somehow some folks, because of the colour of their skin, whichever way, whichever direction we're going, are better than another, is wrong. It's wrong, and I don't like it. I find it abhorrent and disgusting. So this football match isn't just one which we will remember forevermore as an embarrassment to our country because we happened to lose a game. It's an embarrassment because it's become a race issue, and it's quite nasty what people are saying about these young men, and they're not very old. One of them's only 19. He was playing for the England team. He's that good. And yet people are saying nasty things about his skin colour. And that's a real shame. Now, okay, so that's enough about football. Now we can't touch on race and all of that this week without talking about the absolutely desperate situation in South Africa, which has gone from bad to worse. I'm not going to get involved in the politics of it all. Suffice to say that it's a dreadful shame that the people there are not following the law and order of their own country. The citizens there are not doing as they're not finding a peaceful way forward. Now I understand that something has happened. I understand that a former president has been sent to prison by a court of law, and that in reaction to that, some of his supporters have, I mean, the only way I can describe it is gone on the rampage. I'm afraid that those the current administration, who is bringing out the army to deal with them, by the looks of it, they have very little choice but to deal with it, and to deal with it very, very quickly. So I think it's terrible. I wish that everyone would step back. I wish that everyone would stay at home. I wish that people would stop looting. I feel sorry for all of those businesses, whether they are owned by black or white folk in South Africa, who have been looted, because I can't imagine the pain of seeing your livelihood and your business destroyed by people who are just running in and stealing or breaking stuff. I mean, it's not just the theft; it's the vandalism, the mindless vandalism as well, and I think that's dreadfully sad. So I think everyone really should pray for South Africa and people from South Africa who are wherever they are, because it must be heartbreaking watching your country, at least, you know, areas in your country. It's not the whole country. My understanding is it's not the whole country. It's 2 or 3 or 4 pockets of the country, of society, of communities within districts, which have descended into mayhem, and we can only pray for them. There's not a lot we individually can do. There's nothing we individually can do to make life better for them, but we can certainly pray for those South African folk who we know, and we can give them messages of support and love, because that's what's required. Yeah. Now, I was only going to talk about the stream and the football, but actually you got me carried away, really. And I think the football thing really had to be said. So apologies if it upset anyone, but there we are. This is an informal stream. Yeah, an informal stream. Of course, these are opinions of me, an ordinand who is in training, in my formation, and no doubt if I've said something wrong or offensive, then Father David, who oversees my formation, will put me straight, and I will no doubt be coming back here to apologise to someone or other. Okay. Now, this is Tillich. This is the book, the Tillich book. This is the Paul Tillich book called Systematic Theology. I love that sound. It's a big, resounding book, and it's a book that's been lent to me by Father Tom McCusker III, and it has 423 pages. We are on page 119. And we are going to be talking about the mediums of revelation. Okay? Now, why are we reading Paul Tillich? Well, let me tell you. Because Father Tom has lent me this book, and every Tuesday I read this book. I don't read this book on a Tuesday. I meet Father Tom on a Tuesday, and we talk about how I have read this book and what it means, and we discuss niggling points, and we go over it. Okay. Now, it's interesting. It's good. But it was going very slow, and because it was so slow, it was very boring, and we were even only meeting once every 2 weeks at some point, and that was even worse. So until it's pretty dry. I mean, I think it's fair to say I might not be selling this very well. Okay, so I'm asking you to stay with me while I read 2 pages, but it is arguably the driest book I have ever read. It's so dry. It's so dry. Now, so bear with me, because we are going to venture here. We're going to read 2 pages. And the reason we're reading 2 pages is because I'm determined to read 2 pages a day, okay, in order that I can finish the 420 odd pages before Easter. Okay. Now, you could say that there's a wager involved in there, and that wager could possibly, of course not in Thailand where that sort of thing would be profoundly illegal, could possibly, as a notion, involve 1,000 baht. Okay. And of course, it's a notional 1,000 baht. It's not a real 1,000 baht. It's a notional 1,000 baht, which will be remaining in everyone's pocket. But nevertheless, the principle, the idea of should I not finish this book by Easter, that 1,000 baht coming out of my, even a notional 1,000 baht, coming out of my pocket and fluttering its way across to Father Tom, upsets me. And I'm sure in equal measure, the notional idea, the principle of 1,000 baht coming out of his wallet and fluttering along to me upsets him. So, that's why we're reading 2 pages. We're reading 2 pages because of the notion, the principle of 1,000 baht wager. Okay? Now, of course, at any point, if you are watching this, you are welcome to subscribe. You are welcome to follow. Please follow us. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 5 days a week. I don't stream on a Sunday or Monday because Sundays my church day, and Monday is my day off with the family. Okay? Let's talk Tillich, shall we? Now, it says, the mediums of revelation. Nature as a medium of revelation. There is no reality, thing, or event which cannot become a bearer of the mystery of being and enter into a revelatory correlation. Nothing is excluded from revelation in principle, because nothing is included in it on the basis of special qualities. No person and no thing is worthy in itself to represent our ultimate concern. On the other hand, every person and everything participates in being itself. That is, in the ground and meaning of being. Without such participation, it would not have the power of being. This is the reason why almost every type of reality has become a medium of revelation somewhere. Although nothing has become the bearer of revelation by its outstanding qualities, these qualities determine the direction in which a thing or event expresses our ultimate concern and our revelation to the mystery of being. There is no difference between a stone and a person in their potentially of becoming bearers of revelation by entering a revelatory constellation. But there is a great difference between them with respect to the significance and truth of the revelations mediated through them. The stone represents a rather limited number of qualities which are able to point to the ground of being and meaning. The person represents the central qualities, and by implication all qualities which can point to the mystery of existence. There are, however, qualities in the stone for which the person is not explicitly representative. The power of enduring, resisting, etc. When qualities can make the stone a supporting element in the revelation through a person, for instance, the metaphor rock of ages applied to God, sacramental elements, water, wine, oil, must be seen in this light. Their original character as independent bearers of revelation has been transformed into a supporting function. But even in this function, their original independent power is still noticeable. The mediums of revelation taken from nature are as innumerable as natural objects, ocean and stars, plants and animals, human bodies and souls are natural mediums of revelation. Equally numerous are natural events which can enter a constellation of revelatory character. The movements of the sky, the change of day and night, growth and decay, birth and death, natural catastrophes, psychosomatic experiences, psychosomatic experiences such as maturing, illness, sex, danger. In all these cases, it is not the thing or the event as such which has revelatory character. They reveal that which uses them as a medium and bearer of revelation. While everyday life is an ambiguous mixture of the regular and the irregular, in revelatory constellations, the one or the other is experienced in its radical form. If the extraordinarily regular is the medium of revelation, the mystery of being becomes manifest in its relation to the rational character of mind and reality. the divine, discloses its logos quality without ceasing to be the divine mystery. If the extraordinarily irregular is the medium of revelation, the mystery of being becomes manifest in its revelation to the pre-rational character of mind and reality. The divine shows its abyss character without ceasing to be the divine mystery. The extraordinarily regular as a medium of revelation determines the social and ethical type of religion. Kant's coordination of moral law with the starry sky as expressions of unconditionally sublime is the classical formation of the mutual interdependence of the experience of the social and the natural law, and the relation of both to the ultimate meaning of existence. The extraordinarily irregular as a medium of revelation determines the individualistic and paradoxical type of religion. Kierkegaard's symbol of his continual suspension as a swimmer over the depth of the ocean, and his emphasis on the leap, which leaves everything regular and rational behind, are classical expressions of this type of religion. The same difference underlies the present conflict between Richelieu and neo-orthodox theology, Richelian and neo-orthodox theology. Revelation through natural mediums is not natural revelation. Natural revelation, if distinguished from revelation through nature, is a contradiction in terms, for if it is natural knowledge, it is not revelation. And if it is revelation, it makes nature ecstatic and miraculous. Natural knowledge about self and world cannot lead to the revelation of the ground of being. It can lead to the question of the ground of being, and that is what so-called natural theology can do and must do. But this question is asked neither by natural revelation nor by natural theology. Now, there was something there. The bearer of revelation, it was earlier on, it says, the judging the sexual rites and symbols of many religions, one should remember that it is not the sexual in itself which is revealing, but the mystery of being which through the medium of the sexual manifests its relation to us in a spiritual way. This explains and justifies the rich use of sexual symbols in classical Christianity. Protestantism, rightly aware of the danger of a demonization of these symbols, has developed an extreme distrust of them, often forgetting the mediating character of sex in revelatory experiences. But the goddesses of love are, in the first place, goddesses, displaying divine power and dignity, and only in the second place do they represent the sexual realm in its ultimate meaning. Protestantism, in rejecting sexual symbolism, is in danger not only of losing much symbolic wealth, but also of cutting off the sexual realm from the ground of being and meaning in which it is rooted and from which it gets its consecration. Well, that was a surprise. I didn't expect to be reading about that today, but there we are. Okay, interesting stuff. Lots of food for thought. What I'm going to do is just put my bookmark in, close that up, and I'm going to ask you just for a moment to bear with me. So hold on, and I'll be back very, very shortly. Sorry about that. I needed to just blow my nose. I do apologise to you. I don't know what happened as I was reading. My nose started to run. There we are. This is life. Now, what we are going to do, without further ado, is do what we do every night, every evening, and that is to look at the daily prayer of the Church of England, and it comes from the dailycommonworship.com. And today, Friday the 16th, I always look at the night prayer, and we always look at the collect before we say bye-bye. So please let us pray. Merciful God, you have prepared for those who love you such good things as pass our understanding. Pour into our hearts such love towards you, that we, loving you in all things and above all things, may obtain your promises, which exceed all that we can desire. Through Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord, who is alive and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen. So, thank you for joining me. I know it's been a bit of a rant. I thought I knew where I was going, and then I ended up talking about something else. A bit more even, but hopefully it was worthwhile. So, I've got 2 viewers. I didn't see you there. So welcome if you're new to our stream. I know the backdrop looks appalling, but I had one of these artificial backdrops, and I decided actually this virtual backdrop looks a bit rubbish, and what I need to do is just get some books going. So I'm having some bookshelves put up. Actually, I'm putting the bookshelves up, and we're going to have some books at the back, because I think it's genuine, it's real. Now, we've had a good chat today about the stream. I'm streaming every day during the day, and I'm streaming something which I'm going to be calling my day job. And my day job is teaching Chinese children online, and that pays for the house and the family and everything else that we have to spend money on. But it's hard work here in Thailand, and I tend to do between 12 and 15 hours a day, and we just make enough money. We scrape through only with assistance from family and friends in England, really. Some family and friends in Thailand help out too. So, it's not ideal. I'm also an ordinand for the St George's Anglican Church here in Pattaya in Thailand. And from September, I will be starting a 3-year formation. It's not really the formations going on here in Thailand, but it's a 3-year ministry course with Sarum College, which is in the UK, and I'll be doing that for 3 years online. So I'm very excited about that. I've just had to have some sort of ID check, and I haven't heard back from them, but hopefully I will soon, so that would be good. And that's it, really. Now, for the first time, we've got 2 viewers. We've never had 2 viewers. I wish I knew who you were. Unfortunately, I can't see you, so I don't know your names. And I don't know if you're viewers on YouTube or if you're viewers on Twitch. If you are on Twitch, maybe you would just say hello, right? You could say hello in the chat box. Either way, if you could follow us, or actually that way around, isn't it? Follow us or subscribe. That would be marvellous. Now, I'm not going to do any kind of fundraising appeal because I think it does turn everyone off. But tomorrow, I think we'll talk about the church twinning, because I think it's a great opportunity. If you do go to church, if you are Christians and you do go to church, and you think the church would like to twin with us in Thailand, and we're a bit of a mission church. We're only very, very small. We are an independent Anglican church, and we just want to, make links around the world. So maybe that's with you guys. I'm not sure. Yeah, but do come and join me again, either during the daytime when I'm streaming my day job on the Twitch, or back here tomorrow night on Twitch and Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. Well, we've prayed already, so it's now 20 past 11 at night for me. So I'm going to be saying good night, because I've got another class in the morning which starts at 8 o'clock. So well, actually even earlier, isn't it? It's 7:30 tomorrow. So best of luck to you, and with prayers and best wishes, I'm going to say bye bye.